The Spring Glen Church Deacon's Dinner Theater presents You Can't Take It With You. And now, tonight's presentation.
Are you, Mother? I know, but I just got into a monastery and I can't seem to get out. Oh, well, it'll come to you. Remember how you got out of that brothel? The snakes look hungry. Did Reba feed them? I don't know. Reba, did you feed the snakes yet? You know, Donald's coming and he always brings flies with him. Well, be sure to feed them before Grandpa gets home. You know how fussy he is about them. Okay. I'll have another love dream.
Mr. McCrae was right about the powder. It was too close to the balloon.
Fine. You want a love dream? They're on the table. Here.
Oh, no thanks. I gotta wash.
I'm going back to my workplace, Paul.
Oh, that's nice. We're gonna put some red stars after the bomb, and then the balloon. That ought to do it.
You know, Mr. Glenn says I'm his most promising pupil. You'd think with 40 months and one girl that something would happen.
Essie. Hey, Essie.
Oh, I like that, Ed. Did you write it?
No, Beethoven.
Well, it's got a lot of you in it. I made those new candies today.
Yeah?
You can take them around tonight.
Okay. Now here's the big finish. This is me. How was that, Essie?
Oh, fine, Ed. Remember it when Glenkop comes, will you? Ed, dear, why don't you and Essie have a baby? I was thinking about that just the other day.
I don't know. We can have one if you wanted us to. What about it, Essie? Do you want to have a baby?
Oh, I don't care. I'm willing if Grandpa is.
Let's have
Labor play, religious play, sex play.
Anything you want printed, Mr. Lieutenant? How about some more calling cards?
No thanks, Ed. I still have the first 1,000 you made for me.
Well, call up somebody, will you?
Va bene.
What's for dinner, Reba? I'm ready to print the menu.
Let's see. Cornflakes, watermelon, some of those candies Miss Essie made, and some kind of meat. I forget.
I think I'll set it up in bold-faced Cheltenham tonight. You know, if I'm going to take those new candies around, they better print up some descriptive matter after dinner.
Good idea. Ah, here's the wordplay. Poison gas. Oh, that must be Donald. Look at Reba smile.
Boyfriend, eh, Reba?
They're awfully cute, Donald and Reba.
Hello, Reba.
Donald!
Evening, everybody.
Hi, Donald. How you doing?
How you doing, Miss Sycamore?
Very well, thank you. Donald,
Yes, ma'am?
were you ever in a monastery?
No, I don't go no place much. I'm on relief.
Yes, of course.
Here's the flies, Reba. Caught a big mess of them today.
Oh, you sure did.
They seem to be working with Sycamore.
Yes, indeed.
How's Grandpa?
Oh, he's just fine. He's over at Columbia this afternoon. The commencement exercises.
My. Years certainly do roll around.
M-E-A-T. What's he going there for all the time, Penny?
Oh, it's so handy. Just around the corner.
Oh, Donald. Mr. DePina and I are going up to Mount Vernon next week to bring fireworks up. You can give us a hand?
Yes, sir, only I can't take no money for it this year because if the government finds out I'm working, they'll get sore.
Ed, I had a wonderful idea in the bathroom just now. I was reading Trotsky. It's yours, isn't it?
Yeah, I left it there.
Who is it?
Oh, you know, Trotsky, the Russian
better every year. You don't know how lucky you are, you're snakes.
Big class this year, Grandpa? How many were there?
Oh, must have been 2 acres of them. Everybody graduated. Yes, sir. And much funnier speeches than they had last year.
You want to hear a funny speech, you go hear Casey Stengel.
I'll wait. They'll have him at Columbia.
Donald, will you tell Reba that Grandpa's home now and we won't wait for Miss Alice?
Reba's home. We can have dinner.
Hey, the new skyrocket today, Grandpa. Just wait till you see it.
Good evening, Grandpa.
Evening, Mr. DePinna.
Didn't we make a fine skyrocket today, Mr. DePinna?
We sure did, Mr. Ticklewater. We sure did.
You know, I wonder why they don't have fireworks at commencements.
Don't make enough noise. You take a good commencement orator, and he'll drown out a whole carload of fireworks and say just as much, too.
Don't the graduates ever say anything?
No, they just sit there in cap and nightgowns, collect their diplomas, and along about 40 years from now, they suddenly say, "Where am I?"
Hello, Grandpa. Have a nice day.
Hello, have a nice day. Don't I even get kissed?
Excuse me.
Ah, the tomato. You know, I could have used a couple of these.
Mother? No thanks, dear.
Play something, Ed.
Grandpa, did you get that letter that came for you?
Letter for me? I don't know anybody.
Oh, you know, I didn't read on it.
Oh, where is it?
I don't know. Mother, where's Grandpa's letter? What, Effie? Where's that letter that came from Grandpa last week? Oh, I remember seeing the kittens on it.
Well, who was it from? Did you notice?
No, it was on the outside.
Well, who was it?
The United States government.
Really? Wonder what they want.
Well, there's been a couple from the same people. There was one just before that.
Well, if any more come, I wish you'd give them to me.
Oh, sure, Grandpa.
I think I'll go up to Westchester tomorrow and do a little snake hunting.
God is the state. The state is God.
What's that?
Oh, God is the state. The state is God.
Who says that?
Trotsky.
Oh, that's all right. I thought you said it.
It's nice for printing, though. Good and short. G-O-G space I-S space T-H.
And the beautiful princess walked into the palace and kissed her mother and her father and her grandfather.
Hello, darling.
Hi, Grandpa. And what do you think? They turned into the Sycamore family. Right? Oh, Alice. I like it. Do you? It's new, isn't it? Looks nice in summer. Where did you get it? Oh, I took a walk during lunch hour.
You've been taking a lot of walks lately. That's the second new dress this week.
I just like to brighten the office up once in a while. I'm known as the K. Francis of Kirby and Company. So, what's new around here? In the way of plays and snakes and ballet dancing and fireworks? Dad, I'll bet you were down in the cellar all day. I'm going back to my war play, Alice. Really, Mother? Ed, play Alice that Beethoven thing you wrote.
No. All the way from Nicaragua now to Tucson.
Really?
Kenneth, my virginity is a priceless thing to me. Listen, everybody, listen! I'm not home to dinner tonight. A young gentleman is calling for me. Really? Who is it? Well, isn't that nice? I did everything possible to keep him from coming, but he's calling for me. Why don't you both stay to dinner? Oh, yeah. No, I want him to take you in easy doses. I tried to prepare him a little, but don't make it any worse than you can help. Don't read him any plays, Mother. And don't let any snakes bite him, Grandpa, because I like him. And I wouldn't dance for him, Effie, because we're going to the Monte Carlo Ballet tonight.
Can't do anything. Who is he? President of the United States?
No, he's Vice President
3 weeks?
Why, Sherlock Holmes, are you going to marry us? Oh, yes, tonight. Meanwhile, I'm going to go upstairs and put on my dress. Oh. Is he good looking? Yes, in a word. Oh, dear, what time is it? I don't know. Anybody know what time it is?
Mr. DePena might know.
It was about 5 o'clock a couple of hours ago.
I ought to know better than to ask you people. Will you let me know the minute he comes, please? Of course, dear. Yes, but I mean the minute he comes. Yes, of course. Be sure. Well, what do you think about that?
She seems to like him, if you ask me.
I should say so. She's got it bad. Wouldn't it be wonderful if she married him? We'd have the wedding right here in this room.
Now, wait a minute, Penny. After all, this is only the first time he's called for the girl.
You only called for me once.
Oh, the young people are different nowadays.
Well, I don't know. Ed came to dinner just once and he stayed. Well, I think it's wonderful. Don't you, Grandpa?
She certainly seems happy about it.
Maybe he's the one who's been taking her out all these nights. He must be crazy. Oh, here he is! Remember what Alice said and be very nice to him.
All right, let's take a look at him.
Well, welcome to our little home. Come right in. I'm Alice's mother. You come right in. This is Grandpa. And here's Mr. Sycamore. And here's and your husband, Ed. Make yourself right at home. Give me your hat.
I'm afraid you must be making a mistake.
How's that?
My car?
Wilbur C. Henderson, Internal Revenue Department.
That's right.
What can we do for you?
Does a Mr. Martin Vanderhoff live here?
Yes, sir, that's me.
Well, Mr. Vanderhoff, the government wants to talk to you about a little matter of income tax.
Income tax?
You might price it down?
No, go right ahead.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Mother, is that Mr. Kirby? No, it isn't, dear. It's an internal something or other. Pardon me.
Mr. Sycamore. I'm Mr. Sycamore. Look. They won't lie.
Mr. DePena, stop here.
Look at me.
Now, Mr. Vanderhoff, we've written you several letters about this matter, but we haven't had any reply.
Oh, that's what those letters were.
I told you they were from the government.
According to our records, Mr. Vanderhoff, you have never paid an income tax.
That's right.
Why not?
I don't believe it.
You own property, don't you?
Yes,
You receive a yearly income from it
I do.
of between $3,000 and $4,000.
How about that?
You've been receiving it for years.
I have. 1901, if you want the exact date.
Well, the government's only concerned from 1914 on. That's when the income tax started.
Well,
Well, it seems, Mr. Vanderhoff, you owe the government 24 years back income tax.
Wait a minute. You can't go back that far. That's not good.
What's your age?
Well, what difference does that make?
You ever file an income tax return?
No, sir.
How much income did you earn last year?
$28.50. Wasn't it?
Yes, sir.
Please. Now, Mr. Vanderhoff, you know there's quite a penalty for not paying an income tax?
look, Mr. Henderson, let me ask you something.
Well,
Suppose I pay you this money. Mind you, I don't say I'm going to. But for the sake of an argument, what's the government going to do with it?
how do you mean?
What do I get for my money? If I go into Macy's and buy something, there it is. I see it. What's the government give me?
The government gives you everything. From what? Invasion! Foreigners that might come over here and take everything you've got.
Oh, I don't think they're going to do
If
that.
you don't pay an income tax, they would. How do you think the government keeps up the Army, the Navy, all those battleships?
The last time we used battleships was in the Spanish-American War. And what did we get out of that? Cuba. And we gave that back. I wouldn't mind paying for something sensible.
Sensible? Well, what about Congress, the Supreme Court, the President? We've got to pay them, don't we?
Not with my money. No.
Now, wait a minute. I'm not here to argue with you. All I know is that you haven't paid an income tax and you've got to pay.
They've got to show me.
We don't have to show you. I just told you. All those buildings down in Washington. Interstate commerce. The Constitution.
The Constitution was paid for long ago. Interstate commerce. What is interstate commerce, anyhow?
There are 48 states, see? And if there wasn't interstate commerce, nothing could go from one state to the other. See?
Why not? They got fences?
No, they haven't got fences, they've got laws. My God, I never came across anything like this before.
Well, I might pay about $75, but that's all it's worth.
You'll pay every son of it like everybody else. Listen to this. Let me tell you another thing. You'll go to jail if you don't pay. You hear that? That's the law. You think you're above the law, then you've got another thing coming. You're no better than anybody else. The sooner you get that through your head, the better. You'll hear from the United States government. That's all I can say.
Look out for those snakes.
How was that, Eddie?
Fine, Ed.
What did you think of that?
I liked it.
My goodness, he was mad, wasn't he?
Oh, it's not his fault. It's just that the whole thing is so silly.
He forgot his hat.
Say, what size is that hat?
7 and an 8.
Just right for me.
Who was that guy anyway?
Oh, this must be Mr. Kirby.
Better make sure this time.
I will. How do you do?
Good evening.
Is this Mr. Anthony Kirby, Jr.?
Yes?
Well, do come right in. We've been expecting you. Come right in. This is really Mr. Kirby. This is Alice's grandfather and her father.
Pleasure to meet you.
I'm her mother. Here's his sister Effie, her husband Ed. Do make yourself at home. Give me your hat.
Thank you.
Is that Mr. Kirby, Mother? Yes, Alice, it is. He's lovely. I'll be right down. Do sit down, Mr. Kirby.
I'm not keeping you for dinner, am I?
No, not at all. Oh, have a tomato.
No, thank you.
How about a piece of candy?
No, thank you.
Oh, I forgot to introduce Mr. DePina. This is Mr. DePina, Mr. Kirby.
Wasn't I reading about your father in the newspaper the other day? Wasn't he indicted or something like that?
Pardon that, sir. He just testified before the securities commissions.
Yes, of course. Now, I'm sure there was nothing crooked about it. As a matter of fact, Alice has been telling us what a lovely man your father is.
Father can hardly get along without him. Alice knows more about the business than any of us.
You're awfully young, aren't you, Mr. Kirby, to be vice president of such a big place?
Well, you know what that means. All I have is a desk with my name on it.
Is that all? Don't you get any salary?
A small one.
more than I'm worth, I'm afraid.
Oh, now you're just being modest.
Sounds kind of dull to me. Wall Street. Do you like it?
Well, the hours are short. I really haven't been there very long.
Just out of college, huh?
Yes, sir. Knocked around for a while. Just sort of had fun.
What did you do? Travel?
For a while. Then I went to Cambridge for a year.
England.
That's right.
Say, what's an English commencement like? Have you seen many?
Yes, sir. Very impressive.
They are, huh?
But the fun's over now. I'm facing the real world.
Well, you've certainly got a good start. Vice president and a rich father.
Oh, that's hardly my fault, Mrs. Sycamore.
So now I suppose you're all ready to settle down and get married.
Now, Penny, I'm sure Mr. Kirby knows his own mind.
I wasn't trying to make up his mind for him, was I, Mr. Kirby?
No, not at all.
You see? You mustn't rush him, Mother. Well, all I meant was he's bound to get married, and suppose the wrong girl gets him.
Well, here I am, a vision of elegance. Apparently you've had time to get acquainted.
Oh, yes. We've just had a delightful talk about love and marriage.
Oh, dear. I'm sorry, I came down as fast as I could.
Quite all right, darling.
And those flies in the kitchen.
Oh, Miss Alice, you look beautiful. Where you going? I'm going out, Reba.
Oh. Dublin, huh?
Oh, that must be Kalenko. Tony, I think we'd better go.
All right.
Grandpa, take cream on your cornflakes? I forget.
Half and half, Donald.
Ah, my little Rebecca!
Yes, that's Kalenkoff for you.
Good evening, everybody! Grandpa, what do you think? I have just heard from my friend in Russia. The second 5-year plan is a failure!
Like practice today, Mr. Kalenko?
Oh, my Paloma!
Pardon us, Mr. Kalenko.
Oh, my little Alice. Never have I seen you look more magnificent.
Thank you. Tony, this is Mr. Kalenko, Essie's dancing teacher. Mr. Kirby.
Pleasure to meet you.
Now, if you'll excuse us, Mr. Kalenko, we're going to the Monte Carlo Ballet.
The Monte Carlo Ballet? It stinks!
Yes, well, goodbye, everybody. Goodbye. Goodbye.
The Monte Carlo Ballet.
Isn't Mr. Kirby lovely? Oh, well, come on, everybody. Dinner's ready.
I thought he was a nice fellow, didn't you?
Yeah, so good looking. And he had such nice manners. Did you notice his manners, Paul? Did you notice?
Oh, I certainly did. I thought you were getting kind of personal with him, actually.
Oh, no, Paul. Well, anyway, he's a very nice young man.
I thought he looked like a cousin of mine.
But the other left, and you had the ballet, Grandpa.
You know what they did? They did that.
I think if they get married here, we'll put the altar right where the snakes are. You wouldn't mind, would you, Grandpa?
Not if the snakes don't.
No, I think they should get married in a church.
Yeah.
Quiet. Well, sir, things have been going along pretty good for quite a while, and we're certainly much obliged. Remember, all we ask is to just go along and be happy in our own sort of way. Of course, we want to keep our health, but as far as anything else is concerned, we'll leave it to you. Thank you. So, second 5-year plan is okay,
Walking into any theater gives me a thrill.
Well, it's been so lovely, Tony. I hate to have it over.
Oh, is it over? Do I have to go so soon?
Not if you don't want to.
I don't.
Would you like a cold drink?
Wonderful.
I'll see what's in the icebox. You want to come along?
I follow you to the ends of the earth.
Oh, just the kitchen's enough. birthday an icebox full of cornflakes. That gives you a rough idea of the sycamores.
I don't understand why they make these bottles. They're so thick. Oh, yeah. All over my jacket.
I'll take mine in
Sure.
glass if you don't mind.
My ear. In a glass.
In glass.
Cheers. There you are, Miss Sycamore. One foaming beaker.
Anyhow, it's cold.
You be seated. I would like to offer a toast.
We are seated.
Miss Sycamore, to you.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Kirby. To you.
You know something, Alice?
What?
I wouldn't trade a moment of this evening for all the rice in China.
Really?
Cross my heart.
Is there much rice in China?
Terrific. Haven't you ever read The Good Earth?
No.
No. I really ought to be going.
Is it very late?
Yes, it's very. I don't want to go.
I don't want you to go.
All right. I won't. When are you getting your vacation?
Last 2 weeks of August.
Oh, I might take mine then too.
Really?
Do you know what you'll be doing?
No, I haven't thought much about it.
Going away, do you think?
I might not. I kind of like the city in the summertime.
Me too.
But you usually go to Maine, don't you?
Well, yes. Well, I mean, I'm sure I'd like the city in the summertime. Well, Alice, you know what I mean. I mean, I'm sure I'd like the city in the summertime if you were here.
Well, it'd be nice if you were here, Tony.
You know what you're saying, don't you?
What?
That you would rather spend the summer with me than with anyone else.
What about it?
Now, that's true about the summer. What would you say about the winter?
Oh, yes, I might like that too.
That leaves the spring and autumn. You could see your way clear past those, Miss Sycamore.
I might.
That's just about the whole year. We haven't forgotten anything here, have we?
No.
Well then.
Is that you, Alice? What time is it? Oh. Excuse me, Mr. Kirby. I didn't mean to interrupt any. No, Mother.
Not at all, Miss Sycamore.
I just came down for a manuscript. Then you can go right ahead. Here it is. Sex takes a holiday. Good night, Tony. Oh, I think you can call me Penny. Don't you, Alice? At least, I hope so.
Well, what the heck was that?
It's all right, Tony. That's Father.
Oh. At this hour?
Any time of night, any time of day.
Do you know that you are more beautiful, more lovely, more adorable than anyone else in the world?
Don't, Tony.
What? But your mother? Darling, all mothers are like that. And Penny's a darling. You see, there I'm calling her Penny already.
It isn't that. This is something I should have said a long time ago. But I didn't have the courage. I let myself be swept away because I loved you so.
Darling.
No, wait, Tony. Listen, I want to make it clear to you. You're of a different world, a whole different kind of people. I don't mean money and socially. That's too silly. But your family and mine, it wouldn't work, Tony. It just wouldn't work.
All right, have it your way. She can't dance. That's why they pay her all that money, because she can't dance.
Well, I don't
she does dancing. Oh, hello. How was the ballet?
It was fine, Essie.
Wonderful.
Hello there.
Hello.
Listen, what do you people think? Ed and I just saw Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers. Do you think she can dance, Mr. Kirby?
Yes, I've always thought so.
Well, what does she do anyway? Look, you be Fred Astaire, and I'm Ginger Rogers. Effie, please. I just want to borrow him for a minute, Alice. Effie,
You're just as good as Ginger Rogers. We all agree.
see, Ed?
Yeah. Come on, Essie. We're butting in here.
We've been together all evening. Good night, Mr. Kirby. Good night, Alice.
Good night, Mrs. Sycamore.
Good night. Essie, did you ask Grandpa about us having a baby?
Yeah, he said to go right ahead. You see, Tony, that's what it would be like.
That? I didn't mind that. Besides, we're not going to be living with your family. Now it's just going to be you and I.
No, it isn't. It's never quite that. I love them, Tony. I love them deeply. Some people could break away, but I couldn't. I know they do rather strange things, but they're gay and they're fun. I don't know, there's a kind of nobility about them.
Alice, you're speaking as if only you can understand them. That's not true. My father raises orchids at $10,000 a bulb. My mother believes in spiritualism. Does that make any sense? That makes just as much sense as your mother writing plays. Isn't that so?
It goes deeper, Tony. Your mother believes in spiritualism because it's fashionable. And your father raises orchids because he can afford to. My mother writes plays because 8 years ago a typewriter was delivered here by mistake.
So?
And what about Grandpa? 35 years ago, he just quit business one day. He started up to his office in the elevator and came right back down. He just stopped. He could have been a rich man, but he said it took too much time. So, for 35 years, he's just gone around collecting snakes and going to circuses and conventions. It never occurred to any of them.
Hello there, children.
Good evening, Mr. Vanderhoff.
Hi, Grandpa.
How's the weather? Looks like a nice summer evening.
It's lovely.
It's wonderful.
Well, I'm off. Goodbye, Mr. Kirby. I've got a date with the policeman on the corner.
Excuse me. Did you say a policeman?
We have a standing date, 12:30 every night. I've known him since he was a young boy. He's really a doctor. But after he graduated, he came to me and said that he didn't want to be a doctor. He always wanted to be a policeman. So I said, you go ahead and be a policeman if that's what you want to be. And he did. Say, how do you like my new hat?
Very nice, sir.
Yeah, I like it. The government gave it to me.
Oh, excuse me. I didn't know you folks was in here.
It's all right, Donald.
I'm in.
Reba kind of fancied some candy and I ate. Oh, there it is. You don't want it, do you?
No, Donald.
Thanks. Did you have a nice evening?
Yes, Donald.
Nice dinner?
Yes, Donald.
Was that ballet nice?
Yes, Donald.
That's nice.
Now do you see what I mean? Could you explain, Donald? Could you explain Grandpa to your father? You couldn't, Tony. You just couldn't. I love you, Tony, but I love them too. And it's no use. It's no use.
Alice. The only thing you said that matters at all, that makes any sense, is that you love me. Isn't that so?
But I know so
Don't you
well.
think other people have the same problems? Alice, everyone has a family.
But not like mine.
Alice, that doesn't stop people from loving each other. Won't you love me and try trust me and just forget about everything else?
But how can I?
Because nothing can keep us apart. You know that. You must know that. Your family, they want you to be happy. They must.
Of course they do. But they couldn't change. I wouldn't want them to change.
They don't have to change. They're charming, lovable, just the way they are. Alice, you're worrying about something that might never come about.
Oh, Tony. Am I?
The only thing that matters now is that we love each other. Isn't that so?
Yes.
Oh, then. Now that's what I'd like to see. A little gaiety around here. Young gentleman calling. And getting engaged.
Oh, what do I say?
Well, the first thing you say is you thank the young gentleman for getting engaged to you.
Thank you, Mr. Kirby, for getting engaged to me.
And then you tell him what it was about him that first captured your girlish heart.
It was the back of your head.
What?
It was the back of your head. It wasn't your charm, it wasn't your money. It was the back of your head. I just liked it.
Darling, what happened when I turned around?
Oh, I got used to it after a while.
Thank you. Just think about it, though, Alice. Aren't we lucky?
I know that I am. I'm the luckiest girl in the world.
Well, I'm not exactly unlucky myself. I really have to go. Good night, darling. Until tomorrow.
Good night.
Alice, think about it, though. We're really pretty lucky that we work together. Otherwise, I'd be stuck hanging around here all day.
Won't it seem strange tomorrow, going to work and you're back and nothing has happened?
Thank God I'm vice president. I can call you in my office and dictate to you all day. Dear Miss Sycamore, I love you. I love you. I love you.
You're such a fool, Tony.
Why don't you meet me in the drugstore before you come to the office tomorrow? I'll have a million things to say to you.
All right.
And we'll do lunch tomorrow and dinner tomorrow night.
Tony, what will people say?
Alice, they're bound to find out sooner or later. As a matter of fact, you know a good rooftop. I'd like to do a little shouting.
Yes, sir, Mr. DePena, we certainly did a good night's work.
A good night of work. You know, what's that? 500 Black Panthers, 300 willow trees, and 8 dozen of junior Katy bombers. A good night indeed, Mr. Sixth.
Pretty good, pretty good. Oh, hello, Alice. Just come in.
No, I've been home quite a while.
Did you have a good evening?
Oh, I had a beautiful evening.
Oh, say, I'd like you to have a look at this new red fire we made. It's really beautiful. Mr. DePena, will you turn out the light? I want Alice to get the full effect.
What fire?
Have a look at this new red fire. It's beautiful. There. Isn't it beautiful?
Oh, yes. Everything's beautiful. It's the most beautiful red fire in the world. All right, I said to him, you just figure
But you don't drink when you're acting, do you, Miss Wellington? Just asking, of course. Well, I'm glad you brought that up. What? Once I enter a stage door, I never touch a drop. What? Once the play opens, this bottle gets put away till intermission.
Have you been on the stage a long time, Miss Wellington?
Why, my whole life, I'll play everything. Ever see Prince of my heart?
Yes.
Me too, great show. My hot night, ain't it?
Want me to open the window, Miss Wellington?
Nah, hell with it. Hey, he's cute.
She's just acting, Reba, that's all. She don't mean nothing.
Well, anytime you're ready, Miss Wellington, we'll go up to my room and start. I thought we'd play up in my room. Hi, dear. I'm ready. Snakes! It's time to lay down. Oh, dear! Oh, dear! Oh, the door!
Down like a light.
You better let her sleep it off.
Reba, Miss Wellington just passed out.
Good! Do you think she'll be all right?
Yes, but I wouldn't cast her in the religious play.
I suppose I'm just gonna have to wait.
Next time you meet an actress on the top of a bus, Penny, I think I'd send her the play instead of bringing her home to read.
And I wish you'd stop printing and take those love dreams around. You gotta get back in time to play for me when Kalenkoff comes.
Kalenkoff coming tonight?
Yeah, tomorrow night's his night, but I had to change it on account of Alice.
Oh, big doings around here tomorrow night, eh?
Isn't it exciting? You know, I'm so nervous you'd think it was me he was engaged to instead of Alice. I wonder what they'll be like, his mother and father. Ed, what are you doing now?
Penny, did you see the new mask I made last night? Guess who it is?
Now, wait a minute, Ed. Don't tell me. Helen of Troy.
It's Mrs. Roosevelt.
You know, the nice thing about these Meccano sets is that you can make so many different things with them. Last week it was the Empire State Building.
What is it this week?
Queen Mary.
Hasn't got the white hat on.
Look, Mr. McKenna. Would you open the door and see if there's a man standing in front of the house?
Why? What for?
Well, the last 2 nights when I've been out delivering candy, I think a man's been following me.
Ed, you're crazy.
No, I'm not. He follows me. And he stands and watches the house.
Really, I will take a look and see.
I don't see what anybody would follow you for, Ed.
There's a lot of kidnapping going on, Grandpa.
Yes, but not of that.
Well, did you see him?
No, there's no one out there at all.
You sure?
I'm positive. I just saw him walk away, okay?
You see?
Oh, Ed, it could have been just anybody walking down the street. Now hurry up and get back.
All right. Mr. Sycamore, you want to go downstairs and finish up packing up, but we got to go to Mount Vernon.
Yeah, we gotta bring the stuff up in the morning.
Mother, may I borrow some paper? I'm making out a list for Reba for tomorrow night. Sure. What happened to your actress friend? Is she giving a performance? Oh, no. She's not acting. She's really drunk. Exie, you're going to let Reba have the kitchen all day tomorrow, aren't you? Because she'll need it. Oh, sure, Alice. I'll go start some love dreams now, so I'll be way ahead. Thanks. Listen, Mother, I'll be home about 3 o'clock tomorrow. You'll have everything in the cellar by that time, won't you? Well, the typewriter, and the snakes, and the printing press, and the xylophone.
And Miss Wellington?
And Miss Wellington. That'll give me time to fix the table and arrange the flowers.
The Kirbys are certainly going to get the wrong impression of this house.
You'll do all that, won't you, Mother? Of course, dear. And I think we better have cocktails ready by 7:15, in case they happen to come a little early. Oh, dear. I wonder if I'll let Reba cook
It's all right, too.
Well, I'm not trying to impress them or pretend we're anything we aren't. I just want everything to go okay.
No reason why it shouldn't, Alice.
We'll all do everything we can to make it a nice party.
I love you all. You're the most wonderful family in the world. And I'm the happiest girl in the world. I didn't know anyone could be so happy. What, he's so wonderful, Grandpa. What, just seeing him, you don't know what it does to me.
Oh, just seeing him. Just seeing him for lunch and for dinner and until 4 o'clock in the morning and 9 o'clock next morning you're back at the office and there he is. Just seeing him, huh? Oh.
I don't care. I'm in love. Reba? Reba?
Nice, isn't it? Nice to see her so happy.
You know, I remember when I was engaged to Paul, how happy I was. And you know, I still feel that way.
I know. Nice the way Ed and Essie get along too, isn't it?
And Donald and Reba, even though they're not married. Do you suppose Mr. DePinna will ever marry anyone?
Well, there's Miss Wellington.
Dear, I wish you'd wake up. If we can read that
Mrs. Sycamore, look what I found. Remember?
Why, of course, that's my painting of you as a discus thrower. Look, Grandpa.
I remember. Say, you've gotten a little gray, haven't you, Mr. DePinna?
No, just a little bit right here. Just a little.
Well, it's been a long time. Ever since I started writing plays. Let me tell you, that's about 8 years.
I kind of wish you would have finished that, Mrs. Sycamore.
I'd always meant to finish it, but I just started writing plays one day, and that was that. I
Well,
never painted again.
just as well, too. I was going to have to strip next.
Who would have thought that that day I came here to deliver ice, I would have stayed here for 8 years. 8 years.
The milkman was here for 5.
Say, why didn't you leave? I forget.
He didn't leave. He died.
He was such a nice man. Do you remember the funeral, Grandpa? We never knew his name, and it was kind of hard to get a certificate.
What was the name we finally made up for him?
Martin Vanderhoff. We gave him your name. Well, it was a lovely thought. Because otherwise he never would have got all those flowers.
Certainly was. Didn't hurt me any. Not bothered with mail anymore, and I haven't had a telephone call from that day to this.
Well, it was really a wonderful idea.
You know, Mrs. Sycamore, I kind of wish you would have finished that. I kind of like it to have it for myself.
You know, Mr. DePinna, I think I'll do some work on it. Right tonight.
Say, will you?
I don't think she's gonna wake up. Look, you go down to the basement, the cellar, and put on your costume. And bring in the easel. Is it down there?
I think so.
Now, where did I put my palette and brushes?
Revista, my little Revista!
Everything's in the kitchen.
Mrs. Sycamore, I greet you. What should I do about Revista? I keep telling her she'd make a great toe dancer. But she laughs only at me.
Mr. Kalenkov, I can't get up on my toes. I got corn.
Revista, you can wear the leggings. A great girl, Grandpa. What is that?
That's a picture of Mr. DePinna. Penny painted.
It stinks.
I know. How do you like that?
Oh, what is that?
She's an actress, friend of Penny's.
Oh, she's drunk, no?
She's drunk, yes. Well, how are you, Philip?
Oh, magnificent. Life is running around inside me like a squirrel.
It is, eh? What's new from Russia? Any more letters from your friend in Moscow?
Yes, I just heard from him. I said for you this time.
Oh, thanks, Grandpa.
They have sent him to Siberia.
They have, eh? How does he like it?
Ah, he has escaped. He has escaped and gone back to Moscow. He will get them yet if they do not get him first. I tell you, Grandpa, I can take the entire Soviet government.
I'm sorry I'm late, Mr. Klinkoff. I'll go change into my dancing clothes right away.
Tonight we really work on the follow-up. Tonight we take something new.
Is he making any progress, Glenn?
Confidentially, she stinks.
Well, as long as she's having fun.
You sure do tickle Reba, Mr. Klinkoff. She's laughing her head off out there.
Hush, she's a great woman, Donald. Donald, what do you think of the Soviet government?
The what, Mr. Klinkoff?
I withdraw the question. What do you think of this government?
It's fine. I'm a relief, you know.
Oh, yes. And you like it?
Yeah, it's fine. Only thing is, you got to go down to the place every week to get it. And sometimes you got to stand in line near half an hour. Government ought to be run better than that. Don't you think so, Grandpa?
Government ought to stop sending me letters. Want me to appear at the United States Marshal's office Tuesday morning at 10 o'clock. Take a look.
Income tax. They have got you, Grandpa.
I'm supposed to give them a lot of money so as to keep Donald on relief.
You don't say, Grandpa. You gonna pay it from now on?
That's what they want.
You mean I can come right here and get it instead of standing in line?
I'm afraid you're going to have to waste one full half hour of your time every week.
Well, I don't like it. Breaks up my week.
He should have been in Russia when the revolution came. Then he would have stood in their line, a bread line. Ah, Grandpa, what they have done to Russia. Think of it. His Grand Duchess Olga Katrina, a cousin to the Tsar. She's a waitress in Child's restaurant, Times Square. Only yesterday I ordered the fake beans from her. It broke my heart. It's a crazy world, Grandpa.
Oh, the world's not so crazy, Glen. It's just the people in it. Life's pretty simple if you just relax.
Oh, how can you relax in times like these?
Well, if they'd relax, there wouldn't be times like these. That's just my point. Life is kind of beautiful if you let it come to you. The trouble is, people forget that. I know I did. I used to be right in the thick of it. Fighting and scratching and clawing. A regular jungle. Then one day it kind of struck me. I wasn't having any fun.
So you did what?
Just relax. 35 years ago that was. And I've been a happy man ever since.
Good evening, Mr. Klinkoff.
Oh, Miss Alice, I have not seen you to present my congratulations.
Thank you.
May you be very happy and have many children. This is my prayer for you.
That's quite a thought.
How love. Love is all that is left in the world, Grandpa.
Yes, but there is plenty of that.
And soon Stalin will take that away from you. I tell you, he will.
See, you're so good. Get into my art things again. These do right, don't they, Grandpa?
Yes, indeed.
You are a breath of Paris, Madame Sycamore.
Why, thank you, Mr. Klinkoff.
I didn't know you was with the WPA.
Oh, no, Donald. See, I used to paint all the time.
They happened again. There was a fellow following me every place I went.
Oh, Ed, it's just imagination.
No, it isn't. It happens every time I go out to deliver candy.
Maybe he wants a piece of candy.
It's all right for you to laugh, Grandpa, but he keeps following me.
Oh, he does not know what following is. In Russia, everybody is followed. I have followed right all of Russia.
Of course. You see, Ed, the whole thing is just your imagination.
Well, maybe.
Mr. Sycamore,
Where you want this over here?
Oh, yeah.
And for tonight's lesson, we take the first movement of Scheherazade.
Kalenko.
Did you hear that, Grandpa? Art is only achieved through perspiration.
Yes, but it helps to have a little talent, too. Only made 2 bullseyes last night. Got to do better than that. You are ready?
We begin. We start with the pirouette. Pirouette. Oh, come. It's been 8 years now. You can do it. Bravo. We try entree shot. No, Grandma, you cannot relax with Stalin in Russia. He's not relaxing. Look what happened to him. His son is not relaxing. He's telling great things again. We go back to the hero.
Mr. Snell, did you go down to
A little queer. Queer on the eye. The whole body must move. Hey, help us with the music. The music should be clear too.
Good evening.
How do you do?
How do you do?
Are we, early?
No, come on in. Everything's still all right. We're glad to see you.
Well, yeah, only we gotta speak tomorrow night.
What? Tomorrow night?
Now
How could you possibly?
now it's perfectly all right. Just make yourselves at home.
Tony, this is most embarrassing.
Not at all. Why, we weren't doing a thing. That's all. Now don't let it bother you. Oh, this is Alice's mother, Mrs. Sycamore.
How do you do?
Alice's sister, Mrs. Carmichael. Mr. Carmichael. Mr. Kalenko. And Mr. DePinto.
It doesn't right in my costume. I'll take it right off.
Mr. DePinto. Would you tell Mr. Sycamore to come right up? Tell him that Mr. and Mrs. Kirby are here.
And be sure to put his pants on.
Okay.
I'll tell Alice excuse me. Alice dear, what is it? Would you come down, please? We've got a surprise for you. Well,
Mrs. Kirby, may I take your wrap?
Well, thank you. If you're absolutely sure that we're not...
Now, don't be alarmed. They're perfectly harmless. Ed, take him into the kitchen.
it's just that we're so used to them around the house.
I'm sorry to trouble you, but please...
I feel very uncomfortable about all of this. Tony, how could you do such a thing?
Dad, I'm sorry. I thought it was nice.
Oh, now, Mr. Kirby, anybody could get mixed up.
Honey, how about some dinner for these folks? They came for dinner, you know.
Oh, please don't bother. We're really not hungry at all.
Oh, but it's not a bit of bother. Ed, tell Donald to run to the A&P and get half a dozen bottles of beer and some canned salmon. Do you like canned salmon, Mr. Kirby?
Oh, don't trouble yourself, Mrs. Sycamore. I have a little indigestion anyway.
Oh, I'm sorry. How about you, Mrs. Kirby? Do you like canned salmon?
Oh, I'm very fond of it.
We can have frankfurters if you'd rather.
Either one will do.
Tell Donald to get some, let's see, frankfurters and some canned corn and some Campbell's soup. Got it?
Okay.
And tell him to hurry.
Mr. and Mrs. Kirby.
Alice, I'm the most long-winded person in the world. I thought it was tonight.
Oh, Tony, I thought you... I'm sorry, I was... have you all met each other?
Yes, indeed.
How do you do, Alice? How do you do, Mrs. Kirby? I'm afraid I'm not very presentable.
Darling, you look lovely.
Of course she does. Don't be upset, my dear. We've all met each other one night sooner, that's all.
But I was planning such a nice party for tomorrow night.
Well, we'll come again tomorrow night.
There you are, darling. There you are. Am I forgiven?
I guess so. It's just that... Well, we ought to see about getting you something to eat. That's all been attended to. I took care of all that. But what did you send out for, Mother? Because Mr. Kirby suffers from indigestion and he can only eat certain foods.
Oh, it's all right. It's all right.
Yes, but I asked him what he wanted.
No, it's not as serious as all that, just because I have a little indigestion.
Oh, perhaps it is not indigestion at all, Mr. Kirby. Perhaps you suffer from stomach ulcers.
Don't be absurd, Mr. Kalinkoff.
You mustn't mind Mr. Klinkoff, Mr. Kirby. He's a Russian. And Russians are inclined to look on the dark side.
Oh, I thought you made Russian. But a friend of mine, he was a Russian, and he died from stomach ulcers.
Oh, really, I'm not in any danger of dying.
Mr. Kirby suffers indigestion, and that's all.
All right, let him wait.
Do sit down, Mr. Kirby. Make yourself comfortable.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
Well,
Tell me, Mr. Kirby, how do you find business conditions? Are we pretty well out of the depression?
What? Well, yes, I guess so. Of course, it all depends.
But you do figure that things will continue to improve.
Broadly speaking, yes. As a matter of fact, industry is now operating at 64% of full capacity, as compared with 82% in 19...
yes, some people don't take it as well as others, you know. Perhaps I'd better see if she's all right. It is awfully hot. It's usually a giggle holiday. Don't you, Mr. Kirby, up in Maine? As a rule, yes. I had to come down this week, however, for the flower show.
Mother wouldn't miss that flower show for anything. That blue ribbon is the highlight of her year.
Why, I won a blue ribbon at a flower show once for raising onions. That was a garden show at I think she'll be all right now. Has Donald come back yet? No, he hasn't. Well, he'll be back soon, and dinner won't take any time at all. I'm afraid you must be starved.
Oh, no, it's quite all right. Hello, what is this? I didn't know there were little children in the house.
No, that's mine.
Oh, I see. Well, every man has to have his hobby, I guess. Or do you use this as a model of some kind?
Oh, no, I just play with it.
I see.
You could use a hobby like that yourself, Father, instead of raising orchids.
Yes, I wouldn't be surprised.
Do tell us about your orchids, Mr. Kirby. Imagine they take 6 years before they blossom. Imagine that.
Oh, well, some of them longer than that. I have one I'm waiting for now that's been coming along for 10 years.
Believe it or not, I was waiting for an orchid.
Yes. Of course, during that time they required the most scrupulous care. I remember a bulb I was very fond of.
Donald! Ah, here we are. Donald, did you get everything?
Yes, ma'am, only they didn't have any frankfurters, so I got pickled pig's feet.
All right, Donald, just take everything into the kitchen. Do tell them all about your orchid, Mr. Kirby. I'm sure they'd love to hear. And, excuse me.
Kind of an expensive hobby, isn't it, Mr. Kirby? Raising orchids?
Yes, but I feel that if a hobby gives one sufficient pleasure, it's never expensive.
That's very true.
Yes, you see, I'd go crazy if I didn't have something like that. After a week in Wall Street, I really need something to relieve the daily nerve strain. A lot of men I know have yachts just for that very reason.
Why don't they give up Wall Street?
What?
Oh, I'm just joking.
I think it's necessary. But my great solace is spiritualism. Spiritualism? Oh, now, Mrs. Kirby, everybody knows that's a fake. Spiritualism is, well, I'd rather not discuss it with you.
Remember now, Penny, you've got one or two hobbies of your own.
Well, yeah, but not silly ones.
I don't think that matters what a hobby is. The important thing is to have one.
To be ideal, a hobby should improve the body as well as the mind. The Romans were a very great people. Why? What was their hobby? Wrestling. In wrestling, you have to think quick with the mind and act quick with the body.
Oh, yes, but I'm afraid that wrestling isn't very practical for most of us, Mr. Kolikoff. I wouldn't make a very good showing as a wrestler.
Oh, nonsense, nonsense. You're a built for it. Look! Oh, I'm so sorry, Mr. Kirby. But of course, the next time you wrestle, you will not wear your glasses.
I don't intend to wrestle again, Mr. Kolikoff.
You better sit down.
How could you do such a thing? Why did someone stop it? I think, if you don't mind, perhaps we had better be going.
Mother!
Oh, please don't go, Mrs. Kirby. Please, Mr. Kirby, don't go. I ordered some scrambled eggs and plain salad. Please don't go.
I'm sorry if I did something wrong, and I apologize.
I'm sorry, Mr. Kirby. If I'd been here.
Oh, it's all right. It's all right.
Of course it is, darling. We're not leaving.
Well, that was exciting for a minute, wasn't it?
You were talking about your orchids, Mr. Kirby. Do you raise many different varieties?
I'm afraid I've quite forgotten about my orchids.
I can't tell you how sorry I am, Mr. Kirby.
Oh, what did I do? They were so terrible. I threw him on his floor. Did it kill him?
Please, don't go and cough. I'm sure dinner won't be any time at all now. Oh, Mr. Kirby, would you like some candy? Oh, where's my candy? Oh, well.
Well, sorry, because my doctor doesn't permit me to eat it in.
Excuse me, what is it? It fell down the sink. Well, make some more. We've got it. Well, send Donald out for some. And tell him to hurry. I'm afraid, dinner will be delayed a few minutes, but things should be ready in a little while.
I'm afraid I took you
Now, I'll call out 5 words, just anything at all, and as I say each word, you're to put down the first thing that comes into your mind. Got it? You see that? So for instance, if I were to say grass, you might put down green. Just whatever you think of. See? Or if I say chair, you might put down table. It shows reactions people have to different things.
Come on, Father. Be a sport.
Very well. I should be happy to play.
You see, Alice, he does want to play. Well, now, is everybody ready? Now remember, you must play fair. You put down the first thing that comes into your mind.
I understand.
Ready for the first word? Potatoes. Potatoes. Ready for the next?
What?
Bathroom.
Mother.
Bathroom. Got that? Ready for the next? Lots. Mother. Oh, nonsense, Alice. That word's all right.
It's not all right.
No, it seems to me that's a word.
What was that last word again, Mr.
Lots, Mr. Kirby.
I've got it.
This is quite a game, isn't it?
Next. Honeymoon. That was the last word is sex.
Mother, please.
Everybody got sex? Now, give me all your papers. Sorry. May I have your paper, Mr. Kirby?
What happens now?
Oh, this is the best part. Now I read out your reactions.
I see. This is a very interesting game, isn't it?
Yes, it is. I knew you'd like it. I'll read your paper first, Mr. Kirby. I'll read Mr. Kirby's paper first. Listen, everybody. This is Mr. Kirby. Potatoes. Steak. Well, that's very good, Mr. Kirby. See how well they go together, steak and potatoes?
I just happened to think of it.
Well, that's very good. Bathroom. Toothpaste. Well. Lot? Unlawful. Isn't that nice? Honeymoon? Trip. Yes. And sex? Male. Why, yes, of course. You are. That was a wonderful paper, Mr. Kirby.
Well, thank you. Of course, this is more than just a game, isn't it? It's a little experiment in psychology.
Yes, it is. It shows just how just how your mind works. Now let's see how Mrs. Kirby's mind works. Ready? This is Mrs. Kirby. Potatoes. Starch. I know just what you mean, Mrs. Kirby. Bathroom. Mr. Kirby. What? Bathroom. Mr. Kirby.
I'm afraid I don't follow that, my dear.
I don't know, Anthony. Somehow I just thought of you in connection with it. After all, you are in there a good deal, Anthony. Bathing and shaving and, well, you do take a lot.
Indeed, I hadn't realized I was being What does it mean? Sex. Wall Street.
I don't know what it means. It's just that you're always talking about Wall Street even when... I'm afraid this game is giving me a headache.
Possibly we should postpone the dinner.
I understand. But you're coming tomorrow night, aren't you? I'm afraid we have an engagement tomorrow night.
Yes, perhaps we better postpone the whole affair for a while.
I think we should say tonight.
I have a very bad
Come, Tony, I'm sure they understand.
I don't understand. I think we're being very ungracious.
No, Tony.
What?
We were fools to ever think it would work. It won't work. I won't be in the office tomorrow, Mr. Kirby. I won't be in the office at all anymore.
Alice, what are you talking about?
Well, I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. Are you ready, Mary?
Yes.
Alice, you mustn't mind this.
Oh, it was very nice to have met you all. Are you coming, Tony?
No, Father. I'm not.
I see. Well, your mother and I will be waiting for you at home. Good night.
Good night.
Stay right where you are. Leave your house, don't you? Which one is it?
This is him.
Hey,
What are you doing?
Ed!
What do you mean?
Grandpa, what is it?
It's an outrage.
Shut up! What's your name?
Edward. Carmichael, I haven't done anything.
You haven't, huh?
This seems rather high-handed to me. What's it all about?
Department of Justice.
Oh, my goodness! J-Man! Ed, what have you done?
Haven't done anything.
What's the boy done, officer?
This store lead cellar there?
Yes,
Yes.
Mac. Right. Down there. Jim?
Yeah.
Take a look upstairs, see what you can find.
Right. I haven't done anything.
Yeah, come here, you. You recognize these?
In my circulars.
You print this stuff, huh?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Look at this. Dynamite the White House. Dynamite the Capitol. Dynamite the Supreme Court. God is the state is
But
God.
I didn't mean that.
You did.
I just like to print, don't I, Grandpa?
Now, officer, the government is in no danger from that. Printing is just his hobby, that's all. He prints anything.
Oh, he does he?
I never heard of such a nonsense.
We were right, Chief. There's enough gunpowder in that basement to blow up the whole city.
yeah, but we only use that for 5
Shut
minutes.
up! Everybody shut up. Keep still. Everybody in this house is under arrest. What? Shut up! All of you!
There was a
Who is that?
Appearance in the West Side Court this morning. The defendants, after spending the night in jail, were brought before Judge Callahan and given suspended sentences for manufacturing fireworks without a permit.
They kept me in a cell with a stripteaser from the burlesque show.
I was in a cell with Mr. Kirby. My, he was mad.
Mrs. Kirby and the stripteaser, they were fighting all night.
Whole lot about Mr. Club, the Racquet Club, the Hart Club, and the National Geographic Society. My, he certainly is a joiner.
All them rich men are elks or something.
I suppose after all this, Mr. Tony ain't ever gonna marry Miss Alice, huh?
Nah, and it's too bad, too. Miss Alice sure loves that boy.
Ever notice how rich folks is always getting themselves in trouble?
Yeah, I'm glad I'm poor.
Me too.
I don't know what I'm going to do with all that food that's out in the kitchen. There ain't going to be no party tonight, that's for sure.
Ain't we gonna eat it anyhow?
Well, I'm cooking it, but ain't nobody going to have an appetite.
I'm hungry.
Well, they ain't. They're so all broke up about Miss Alice.
Too bad, ain't it? What's she going away for? Where's she going?
I don't know. Mountain someplace. And she's going too, no matter what they say. I know Miss Alice gets that look in her eye.
So bad. Not even a balloon left.
How you feeling, Mr. DePena?
Yeah, it's better. Is there any more olive oil in the kitchen?
Yes, in the salad bowl.
Well, she's going. Nothing anybody said can stop her.
Oh, she ain't gonna go away for long, is she, Mrs. Sycamore?
I don't know, Reba. She won't say.
Oh, sure gonna be lonesome here without her.
How you feeling, Miss Sycamore?
Oh, I'm all right now. Just kind of upset. Perhaps if I do some work, maybe I'll feel better.
Well, I won't bother you then.
Well, she's going, Penny.
Yeah.
Oh, now, Penny.
I can't help it, Paul. Somehow I feel it's all our fault.
Oh, it's mine more than yours. All these years I've been going along just thinking of myself. And maybe I should have been thinking more about us.
Don't say that, Paul. You've been a wonderful father. And husband, too.
No, I haven't. Maybe if I'd gone ahead and been an architect, something Alice could have been more proud of. I was thinking of that all last night with me, Mr. Kirby.
Oh, we've been so happy, Paul.
I know. I used to think that was enough. But I'm not so sure anymore. I'm just sort of all mixed up.
What time is she going?
Pretty soon the train leaves at 7:30.
Oh. Where is she now?
I believe she's upstairs waiting for Tony.
Oh.
But
If only Tony would talk to her. I'm sure he could persuade her.
I don't think it'll happen.
No, I don't suppose so. I feel so sorry for Tony, too. Well, Grandpa?
Now, Penny, let the girl alone.
But, Grandpa!
Suppose she goes to the Adirondacks. She'll be back. You can take so much Adirondacks and then you come home.
Oh, so terrible, Grandpa!
Yes, but it has its bright side, too.
How do you mean?
Well, Mr. Kirby getting into the patrol wagon, for one thing. And the look on his face when he had to take a bath with Donald. I lived to be 100. And I warn you people, I intend to, if I can have things like that going on.
It was even worse with Mrs. Kirby when the matron stripped her. There was a burlesque dancer there, and she kept strips on. Kirby undressed.
I'll bet you Bar Harbor will sing pretty dull to the Need any help, Alice?
No thanks, Grandpa. But, Alice!
Now, Penny,
I'll bring the big bag down as soon as you're ready, Alice.
Oh, Alice, would you like some candy to take along for the train?
No thanks, Effie. Really, Alice, you could be just as alone here as you could in the mountains. You could spend the whole time up in your room.
No, I just have to be alone for a while, away from everybody. I love you all, you know that. I just have to go away for a while. I'll be all right. Father, did you phone for a cab?
No, I didn't know you wanted one.
Oh, I told Mr. DePena to tell you. Didn't he tell you?
Oh, he told me, but I forgot.
I wish I didn't live in a family that always forgot
knocking the olive oil right out of my hands. Now I'm gonna smell like a fish.
How are you feeling, Mr. DePinna? Hand still hurting you?
No, it's the better. Everything burnt up downstairs, huh? Even in my room in a costume was a burn.
I told you there was a bright side to everything, except my 23 years back income tax.
Say, what are you gonna do about that, Grandpa?
Every day.
What are you gonna do about that, Grandpa?
Well, I had kind of an idea yesterday. I don't know if it'll work, but I'm going to try.
Good evening, everybody.
Hello, Mr. Kalinkov.
Hello, Klimpoff.
Forgive me, the door was open.
Come on in.
You'll excuse my coming tonight. I realize that you are all upset.
That's all right, Mr. Kalinkov. I don't think I can take a lesson tonight, Mr. Kalinkov. I just don't feel up to it.
Oh, well,
Oh, but do stay to dinner. There's all that food out there, and somebody's got to eat it.
Oh, I will be most happy to, Madame Sigaron.
Fine.
Thank you. Now, I'm wondering if I know you well enough to ask all of you a great favor.
Why, of course, Mr. Kalinkov. What is it?
You have heard me talk about my friend, the Grand Duchess Olga Katrina?
Yes?
She's a great woman, the Grand Duchess. Her cousin was the Tsar of Russia. And today, she's a waitress in Child's Restaurant, Times Square.
Yes, I know. If there's anything at all that we can do, just...
Well, I tell you, the Grand Duchess has not had a good meal since before the Revolution.
She must be hungry.
And not only is it her night off tonight, but it is also the anniversary of Petrov the Great, a most remarkable man.
Why, if you mean you'd like to bring her here to dinner, why, we'd be honored. Oh, yes.
In the name of the Grand Duchess, I thank you.
I can hardly wait to meet her. Where is she now?
Oh, she's outside of the street waiting. I will bring her in.
Ed, straight here, hi. Effie, you dressed for... How do I look? All right?
You know, if this keeps on, I want to live to be 150.
The Grand Duchess Olga Katrina. Your Highness, may I present Madame Sycamore? Madame Carmichael. Grandpa.
Madame?
Mr. Sycamore? Mr. Carmichael? And Mr. DePinna.
All right now, Mr. DePinna.
Please be seated, Your Highness. Oh, thank you. You are most kind. Oh, we're most honored to receive you, Your Highness. I am most happy to be here. Come to this dinner. It'll be very soon, Your Highness, quite soon. I do not mean to be rude, but I must be back at the restaurant by 8 o'clock. I am substituting for another lady.
I will be sure that you are on time, Your Highness.
Thank you, Kolenko.
Grand Duchess, didn't you wait on me one time at Child's Restaurant at 72nd Street?
No, that was my sister.
The Grand Duchess Natasha.
I was there.
Quite a lot of your folks living over here now, aren't there?
Oh, yes, many. My uncle, the Grand Duke Sergei, he is elevator man at Macy's. A very nice man. They married my cousin, Prince Alexis. He will not speak to the rest of us because he works at Hattie Carnegie's. He is in ladies' underwear.
He was selling hot dogs on Coney Island. He was willing to talk to you then.
They are highly comic. My sister Natasha is learning to be a manicurist. My uncle, they have promised to make floor butter. And next month, I will be transferred to Child's Fifth Avenue. And that's only a step from Schratt. Then you will see what Prince Alexis says.
I think you've got it.
You are telling to me. Your Highness, did you know the Tsar? Personally, I mean. Of course, he was my cousin. A terrible thing what happened to No, of course not. Would you excuse me, please?
Your Highness, is it true what they say about Rasputin?
Everybody wants to know about Rasputin. Yes, my dear son. It is true. And how?
You must keep an eye on the time, Your Highness.
Yes, I must not be late. The manager does not like me. He is a communist. We'll hurry things along. Ashley, would you go to the kitchen, see if you can help Reba? Oh, I already had to do. I am a very good cook. Oh, but Your Highness, not on your day off. Oh, that's not mine. Where is your kitchen? Oh, it's right through here, Your Highness. But you're the guest of honor. Oh, but I love to cook. Come, Kolenko. If they have some hot cheese and sour cream, I will make you some blitzes.
Ha! Blitzes! Come, Mama! We should have something! She's okay, no?
Gee, she's got a wonderful face for a mask, hasn't she?
She's really a wonderful woman, considering she's a Grand Duchess.
Wonderful what some people go through, isn't it? And still keep kind of gay, too.
Kind of made me forget about things for a moment.
I suppose I'd better call for that cab now.
Oh, no, wait, Paul. Here they are. Maybe Tony is... Ed, will you please go upstairs and bring down my big bag?
Don't do that.
Please, Ed.
Go get it. You know you have the stubbornest daughter in all 48 states.
That must be the cab.
If it is, it's certainly wonderful service.
Is Tony here, Alice?
Yes, he is. Come in, Mr. Kirby.
How do you do?
Good evening.
Good evening.
Forgive my intruding. Tony, I want you to come home with me. Your mother is very upset.
All right, Father.
I need hardly explain that this is as painful for Mrs. Kirby and myself as it is for you people. I'm sure you understand.
Well, yes, and in a way, no. I'm not the kind of person who tries to run other people's lives. But the fact is, Mr. Kirby, I don't think these two young people have got as much sense as you and I have.
Grandpa, will you please not do this?
Just talking to Mr. Kirby, Alice. A cat can look at the king, can't he?
You want me to do that for you, Alice?
thanks, Mother.
Will you please send a cab to 761 Claremont right away? Thank you.
Now, Alice.
Father.
Are you ready, Tony?
Mr. Kirby, I suppose after last night you think this family's kind of crazy.
Well, no, but I'm not accustomed to going out for dinner and spending the night in jail.
Well, you must remember, Mr. Kirby, you came on the wrong night. Now tonight, I'll bet you nothing will happen at all.
Mr. Vanderhoff, it was not merely last night that convinced Mrs. Kirby and myself that this engagement would be unwise.
Father, I can handle my own affairs. Alice, for the last time, will you marry me?
No, Tony. I know exactly what your father means, and he's right.
No, he's not.
Alice, excuse me, Mr. Kirby.
Grandpa.
You're in love with this boy, and you're not marrying him because we're the kind of people we are.
I didn't say that.
I know, you think the two families wouldn't get along. Well, maybe they wouldn't. But who says they're right and we're wrong?
I didn't say that, Grandpa. I only feel...
Well, I feel that Tony here is too nice a boy to wake up 20 years from now with nothing in his life but stocks and bonds.
What's that?
Yes, mixed up and unhappy. The way you are.
I beg your pardon, Mr. Vanderhoff. I'm a very happy man.
Are you?
Certainly I am.
I don't think so. What do you think you get your indigestion from? Happiness? No, sir. You get it because most of your time is spent doing things you don't want to do.
I'm not aware of doing anything I don't want to do.
Oh, yes, you do. You said only last night that after a week on Wall Street, you're pretty near crazy. Why do you keep on doing it?
Why do I keep on? It's my business. A man can't give up his business.
Why not? You have all the money you need. You can't take it with you.
That's a very easy thing to say, Mr. Vanderhoff. But I've spent my whole life building up my business.
And what's it brought you? Same kind of mail every morning. Same kind of deals. Same kind of meetings. Same dinners. Same indigestion. Where does the fun come in? There must be something more, Mr. Kirby. You must have wanted more than that when you started. We don't have too much time, you know, any of us.
And what do you expect me to do, Mr. Vanderhoff? Do what you do? Do nothing?
Well, I have a lot of fun. And time enough for everything. Read, talk, visit the zoo now and then, practice my darts. Why, I even have time to notice when spring comes around. Don't see anybody I don't want to. And I don't have 6 hours of things I have to do every day before I get 1 hour to do what I like in. And I haven't taken bicarbonate of soda in 35 years. What's the matter with that?
Matter of that? What if we all did it? A fine world we have. Everybody going to zoos. Don't be ridiculous, Mr. Vanderhoff. Who'd do the work?
Why, there are lots of people who like to work. You can't stop them. Inventions, fly the ocean. There are lots of people who go down to Wall Street, too, because they like it. From what I've seen of you, I don't think you're one of them. I think you're missing something.
I'm not aware of missing anything.
Well, I wasn't either till I quit. I used to be down on Wall Street 9 o'clock every day, no matter how I felt. Lay awake nights for fear I'd lose that contract. Used to worry about the world, too. Got all worked up over whether Cleveland or Blaine would be elected president. Seemed awful important at the time. Who cares now? What I'm trying to say, Mr. Kirby, is I've had 35 years that nobody can take away from me, no matter what they do to the world. See?
Yes, I do see, Mr. Vanderhoff. And it's a very dangerous idea. It's un-American. And it's exactly why I'm opposed to this marriage. I don't want Tony coming under its influence.
What's the matter with it, Father?
The matter with it? Why, it's communist. That's what it is.
But you didn't always used to think that way.
Certainly I did. What are you talking about?
Well, what I'm talking about is you didn't always used to think that way. There was a time when you wanted to be a trapeze artist.
Tony, don't be an idiot.
I'm not. It's true. I came across some of those letters that you wrote to Grandfather. Do you remember those?
No. How dare you read those letters? How dare you?
Why, isn't that wonderful, Mr. Kirby? Did you wear tights?
Certainly not. The whole idea is absurd. I was 14 years old at the time.
Yeah, but at age 18, you wanted to be a saxophone player. Only, as a matter of fact, at age 21, you ran away from home because Grandfather wanted you to go into the business. It's all there in black and white. You didn't always used to think this way.
Well.
I may have had some silly notions when I was young, but thank God my father knocked them out of me. I went into the business and forgot about them all.
I completely, Father. There's still a saxophone in the back of your closet.
There is.
Well, that's enough, Tony. We'll discuss this later.
No. I want to discuss this now. Mr. Vanderhoff is right. He's dead right. I'm not going back to the office, Father. I've always hated it. And I'm not going back. And I'll tell you something else. I didn't make a mistake here last night. I knew it was the wrong night. I brought you here on purpose.
What?
I wanted you to wake up. I wanted you to see a real family, as they really are. A family that loves each other, that understands each other. You don't understand me. You never had the time. least I'll be doing something I want to do.
Oh, that must be the cab.
Ask him to wait a minute, Ed.
Grandpa.
Do you mind, Alice? Mr. Kirby, Tony here is going through just what you and I did when we were his age. I think if you listen hard enough, you'll hear yourself saying the same things to your father 25 years ago. We all did it. And we were right. Who of us would settle when we're young for what we eventually get? All those plans we made. What happens to them? Why, it's only a handful of the lucky few who can look back and say that they even came close. So before they clean up that closet, Mr. Kirby, I think I'd get in a couple of good hours with that saxophone.
Pardon me, but before I make the blintzes, how many will there be for dinner?
Your Highness, may I present Mr. Anthony Kirby and Mr. Kirby Jr., the Grand Duchess, Olga Katrina.
How do you do? Before I make the blintzes, how many will there be for dinner?
Oh, I'd make quite a sack of them, Your Highness. Can't ever tell.
Cool. Izar always told me, Olga, don't be stingy with the blintzes.
Who did you say that was, Mr. Vanderhoff?
The Grand Duchess, Olga Katrina. She's cooking dinner.
Oh.
And speaking of dinner, Mr. Kirby, why don't you and Tony both stay?
Oh, please do, Mr. Kirby. There's all that stuff out there we were going to have tonight.
Looks like it'll be a nice dinner, Mr. Kirby, and it'll kind of give us a chance to become acquainted. Why don't you stay?
What do you say, Father? You staying for dinner?
Well, if you'd really care to, Tony, I'd like to very much.
Now, Mr. Vanderhoff, Alice would just send away that cab.
How about it, Alice? Going to be a nice crowd. Don't you think you ought to stay for dinner?
I'm staying, Alice. Don't you think the families ought to get to know each other?
Mr. Kirby. Tony. Grandpa, you are wonderful.
I've been telling you that for years.
Grandpa, here's a letter for you. It was in the icebox.
What? The government.
How do you do, Mr. Kirby?
How do you do? Did you ever find that candy?
Miss Sycamore, why don't you step into my office? I'd like to do a little dictating.
I better tell that cab.
Well.
What is it, Grandpa?
The United States government apologizes. I don't owe him a nickel. It seems I died 8 years ago.
What does it mean?
Remember Charlie the milkman buried under my name?
Yes.
Well, I told them they made a mistake. That I was Martin Vanderhoff Jr. So they're very sorry. And I may even get a refund.
Why, Grandpa, you're an old crook.
Sure.
Pardon me, how did you say you escaped the income tax, Mr. Vanderhoff?
Next, my friend, we will have pieces like we never had, Mr. Kirby.
Hello there.
How do you do?
Fine. How are you?
What has happened?
Is your action? That's right. Play something, Ed.
Goody, ha! Somebody found someone and all over here. Goody,
thanks once more for everything you've done for us. Things seem to be going along just fine. Alice is going to marry Tony, and it looks as though they're going to be very happy. Of course, the fireworks blew up, but that was Mr. DePinna's fault, not yours. We're all in good health, so as far as anything else is concerned,